Good afternoon. Dear students, learn purposive communication with me, yours truly, Teacher Debbie. Hello, and welcome back to Purposive Communication class. Let me remind you again of our classroom rules. Be yourself, be willing to learn, and be an inspiration. So, are you ready for our next lesson? But first, let's have a recall of our previous lesson. In lesson 1, we talk about communication, the two types of communication, verbal and nonverbal communication, the components of communication, principles of communication, and ethical communication. So in our lesson 1 journey, we are taught on concrete example of how components affects the communication process. Just like in our case, we are having our online class, but there are lots of barriers present, like the absence of electricity or energy resources, mm, gadgets, and internet connection, but presence of noise and distraction in the environment. So with this, we are challenged to carry out and fulfill our task in our class and in life in general. So I hope you learn from that. And now we are in lesson 2. Lesson 2.1 Learning Objectives. So, what are these? You are going to distinguish the different types of communication, place the communication forms under the type it belongs, and discuss the differences of the types of communications. Are you ready? Now, can you read what's on the screen? So, what is it? If you guess that the word is let's play, then you are right. You are going to do that. We will play a 4 picks 1 word. So are you familiar with 4 picks 1 word? I know most of you. So it's just an easy game. You are to guess the word, the name of the pictures. 4 pictures. So let's do that. Are you ready? Okay. So this is the first one. So there are 4 pictures. In the first picture, there is a girl. There's a rosary in her hand. And the second one, there is a girl alone. She is under the sunset. And then the third, there's a praying hand. And then the fourth, it's also like praying. So what is the word? So there are 3 letters given. And there are 3 more. So what's the missing letters? I know you get it. Because this is just easy. So what is it? Yes, there is R, there is Y, and there is E. Because the word is prayer. Prayer. So you got it. Congratulations, you got it. Next. Okay. So what do you see? There are 4 girls. They are talking on their phone. So what are they doing? They are what? Yes, there's the missing letter A and L because they are during a call. You got it. It's very easy. And then letter. What are these pictures all about? So it seems like the 4 pictures, it's a bunch of people, group of friends. So are you familiar with these people? They're BTS, Blackpink, and Armia Squad. And this picture is my personal picture. So the given letters H, N, G, and U. So there are 3 missing letters. So what are the missing letters? You think there is A next to H, and then O next to G, and then T next to U. You get it right because the word is hangout. They're hanging out with their friends. Congratulations, you got it. It's very easy. And then next, what's this picture is all about. So the first picture, there is a girl standing on the stage, and then the second one, there are a group of people. It's almost same. And then the third picture, there is a group of people, and then also in the fourth one, there is a crowd. And then the given letters C, E, E, and C. So what are the missing letters? There are 6 missing letters there. So what is it? I know you will get this. This is very easy. So what's this picture's telling you? They are having a what? So if you're thinking that the missing letters there are O, N, F, R, N, and E, you get it right because the word is conference. Very good. And then the last one, it is also easy. So what do you think is the name of these pictures? In the first one, there is a girl talking or like recording herself since there is a microphone. And then the second picture, this is an application. If you're familiar with this is on Spotify. And also this one, it's a channel by this girl. You know this is Liza Sobrano. You're familiar with what she's doing? She's talking with a microphone and a headset on. So what is it? The given letters are P, D, C, A, T. And what are the missing letters? There's 2. It's just easy. And if you think the missing letters are O and S, then you're right. Because the word is podcast. Congratulations, you got this. You're all smart. So what have you noticed about the game? Have you seen a difference about these pictures starting from this? If you're thinking that there is a difference in the number of people being involved in the communication, then you're right. The first one, there is just only one. The second one, 2. And then in this third, it became group. And then in the fourth one, it became larger. And in the fifth one, there is no visible audience, but it's delivered and it's supposedly or preferably heard by many people. And there's the use of technology or media. So if you think that there is a difference of this communication, then you are right. Because what we're going to tackle is the types of communication. So let me ask you, have you ever done this? Talking to yourself in the mirror, constantly asking how to love yourself. Have you ever done that? Because me, I've always done that every day. It's like you're talking to yourself, oh, I'm so pretty, I'm so brave, I am unique, I'm worthy, I'm loved. If you do that, then you are doing an interpersonal communication. So intra means within. You are talking to yourself. You're talking in front of a mirror, considering or asking about your strengths and your weaknesses and your decisions every day. And also, when you are praying, you're talking to transcendent being, and it's just you. It takes place in your private room or wherever you are in a silent place, and you do it yourself. That's interpersonal. Another example, meditating. So you're doing this too. When you're reflecting into something, you're deeply thinking about yourself. You detach yourself away from the world, from the toxicity of the world, and you reflect your life. That's intrapersonal. You're reflecting from inside your heart, your mind, and your soul. And then last picture, you are singing. Have you ever done this when you heard about a lyric of a song and then you got the you get hope and then you repeat the lyrics and you sing it inside your head? That's interpersonal. You are memorizing the lyrics. So another question. How about this? Calling your best friend in the middle of the night when you're breaking down again. You tell him your stories, your experiences, your silly moments, and your decisions in life. Have you ever done that? If you do that or you're familiar with that, then that is the second interpersonal communication. There are one or two persons involved in the process. So another example is telephone conversation. So you call your best friend or your mother or your father or your sister and you talk about anything, your important decisions, or you're confirming for something or you're asking for permission. It's interpersonal. It's just a communication between you two. And then interview. Have you ever done interview? I guess some of you are familiar with it. Job interview. When you're applying for a job or you're applying for a course in the school. In my experience, I undergo interview during my application for the course I am taking right now. So before you will be accepted, you will be interviewed by the teachers and the dean. So it's a conversation between you two. Okay, another example is this. You are emailing your teacher. You email your project or your assignment to your teacher. So it is a communication between you two. And then you're chatting a friend. It is common nowadays because of social media. You can chat your best friend or your friend through Facebook or in Messenger. So it's interpersonal. It's just between you two. So another question. This action. Have you ever done this? Meeting with your group mates in a certain location for a project? You talk about your project, how to finish it, how to fulfill it. Have you ever done that? You're familiar with that because that is our third type of communication. Group communication. So there are 3 to 6 persons engaged, usually in face-to-face interaction. So panel interview. You are familiar with panel interview, right? During thesis proposal, you are interviewed by the panel, which is like composed of 5 to 6 members, and you are going to defend your study. Then also group discussion. We have talked it earlier. You discussed between or among your group about the things that you're going to do or going to fulfill about your project or your assignment. So it's like that. It's a group communication. Another example is group study. So familiar with group study, right? In face-to-face class, this is common. We go to the library and study together with our friends or our classmates. And then friends hang out too. We use this in our game. So there's a communication between in your group when you talk about your experiences, your dreams, and you go out together and you share all those your laughters and your smiles and your jokes and everything you wanted to talk to. So that's a group communication. There are many people involved, more than 3 persons. So another, have you ever observed or done this communication? Delivered a graduation speech? Have you ever done this? You are talking in front of a crowd. So it is a graduation speech. It's a formal occasion. You talk in front of government officials or in the faculty and staff or your parents and the graduates. Or you're familiar with it. That is our fourth type of communication, public communication. So there are six or more people involved. So example is rally. Have you seen rally? Observed rally? There are many people involved. It's usually done in a public place, like in the street or in front of a public place. Yes, when people go together and voice out their sentiments or their opinions about a certain government issues and they want it to be addressed by the government and political rally too. It's observable nowadays in this time because it's campaign period for the coming election. So there's mostly rallies that happen. And next is class discussion. So there is more than 30 or 50 students inside a class and a teacher talk. So that's public. And then there's a meeting. So this picture is a the United Nations General Assembly meeting. So there are group of officials coming together to talk about this event. And then conference. In the conference, there are speakers and then the attendees. And usually after conference, the speaker will let the attendees do a workshop or an activity to see if they've learned or get something from what they are talking about. So it's conference. There are many people involved. There are more than 30 people, mostly. So another question. This communication, you write a blog about your daily life. Are you familiar with blog? Blog is an online information or journal entry published by writers or group of writers on a website. So there are pictures and the write-ups and other medias. They linked it to other websites too. So are you familiar with it? That is an example of the fifth type of communication, mass communication. So it is a communication which uses electronic devices. So it's an example here, giving information through television. So there is a media present, the television. So news, you deliver news in the television, through television. And then also broadcasting news in radio. So there's electronic devices present. You reach the public or the audience through these electronic or media devices. So another, blogging. So we talked about it earlier. You do blogs. You published it in a website and people will see it or read it. There are many people or audiences that will be involved. So you write either on your laptop or your computer and then you publish it online and then people will see it or read it or review it. And then podcasting. It is familiar nowadays. And this is a kind of platform where recorded audio conversations or talks are uploaded or shared through podcasting platforms like in Spotify. You can listen to this type of media, informational sites. It's common nowadays when you listen to podcasts. There are lots of stories or informations you will hear, and you will learn a lot. Now, can you identify or distinguish those types? So we are done. There are 5 types of communication. First is interpersonal, which is you're just doing it yourself. And then interpersonal, it involves two people, you and your listener or your audience or your receiver. And then group communication, there are 3 to 6 people involved. And then public, there are more than 6 people. So there are many audience. And then mass with electronic devices. So it also involves many people, but with the use of electronic devices. So I guess you get our lesson for today. And I know you understand it well. So before I will end this, I'm sharing this quote with you. Take advantage of every opportunity to practice your communication skills so that when important occasions arise, you will have the gift, the style, the sharpness, the clarity, and the emotions to affect other people by Jim Rohn. So, if you are given a chance to practice your communication skills, you're given a chance to speak in front of the crowd or in front of many people, or to talk to people, even personal or private or for formal occasions. Go with it because it will help you to be able to practice and be a fluent speaker and use your talent. I know you guys are having talent in speaking, especially public speaking. And it's for your own good that you engage in communication activities, you will probably be fluent and effective speaker. Become an effective speaker. So thank you for listening. I hope you learned new today. For questions, feel free to ask through our group chat. Until next.